Today we're on to day 2 of the cable challenge, and so we're going to be using whatever it is you're using for your cable needle, and we're going to be knitting the Minaret cable today. And Sophie likes the sound of that in the back garden. Now the majority of this cable pattern is actually just knitting and purling, but there are 3 rows that we are interested in, and it's those 3 that I'm going to walk you through in this tutorial. You should have received your newsletter with the pattern information, so let's get cracking. So we're picking up from row 6, which is on the reverse of the cabling, and we're going to knit 4 stitches, bringing the yarn to the front. We will then slip 2 stitches purlwise as if we were purling. Then I'm going to take the yarn back to the front and then knit another 4 stitches. And we're going to continue that through the pattern, so I'll just show you that one more time. It's incredibly simple. And this is basically the setup row for when we move the cable across the front, so it gives us extra space by having these slip stitches. So we stop after 4, bring the yarn to the front, slip 2 stitches purlwise, and then take the yarn back to the front, and then take the yarn back to the back and continue our knitting. So I shall finish up this row and then move on to row 7. Here we are up to row 7, and I've already purled the first 4 stitches, and what we're going to do is slip, if I can pick it up, we're going to slip 2 stitches onto the cable needle and hold that at the front. So I'm just going to pop that in there. We're then going to purl another 2 stitches. So purl 1, purl 2. I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to purl the 2 from the cable needle. Now I'm going to be cabling off the end of this, which will look rather odd, or if you prefer, you can put them back on to your main needle, and then you simply work whatever the stitch is that you work. And in this instance, it's actually, excuse the sound of the needles on the table there, it's actually going to be knitting 2 together through the back of the loop. So it's going to be knit 2 together. We're going to have the yarn coming over the top for the yarn over. So we've created a stitch and we've knitted the 2 together. So finish the first half of that instruction, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 stitches onto the cable needle, and we're going to move that to the back of the work. We're going to knit 2 together as you would normally. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to purl, please excuse me dropping the needles everywhere, purl the 2 from the needle. So what I'm going to do is just pop these back onto the left needle and then purl them as usual. However, we do need to make sure that that yarn over is a purl yarn over to create that extra stitch, and then purl 2, and then we purl the 4 in between, and I'm going to do that one more time to show you, and there's only 2 repeats on this particular pattern, so we'll see if we can do that slightly more smoothly for you than we just did. So there's the purl 4, and we're going to, this time I'm going to slip them onto the fatter end so that I can just knit them off this end. So we're going to slip 2 and hold that at the front. We're then going to purl 2, that's 1, 2, we're then going to knit 2 together with a yarn over. So by not putting the yarn to the front, sorry, to the back of the work, we're going to leave it at the front of the work, and we're going to knit 2 together through the back of the loop, and by not moving that yarn, we've created a yarn over automatically, and we can knit those 2 off. We're then going to put 2 stitches onto the cable needle, 1, 2, we're going to hold that at the back, we're going to knit 2 together. It's regular knit 2 together. So we've completed the last part of the cabling by moving that across to the right, and we're now going to work our stitches from the back cable. So we'll pop that round to the front, and we're going to do a yarn over, which is a full wrap around for the purl, so that we've got 1 yarn over and we're back ready to work a purl. And we'll work those last 2 off of cables. Drop that needle out of the way, and then we'll just work the last 4, which finishes our row 7. Which means we can then move on to row 8, which is far simpler than row 7. Right, so I can move the cable needle out of the way. I'm not going to be using that this round. This is row 8. I start off with 4 knitted stitches, and then I start to prepare. I have to excuse Sophie, I'm afraid, barking away at birds in the back garden. So we've done 2 purls, and then we're going to knit 1 through the back of the loop. So this is tidying up the yarn over stitch that we created. We're then going to purl 2, 1, 2. We're going to knit through the back of the loop again to deal with that extra yarn over where we created a new stitch. So we'll tidy that away so it's more appropriate. And we're going to purl 2 and then knit 4. So that's purling 2, and then we're going to knit 4. And I'll just do that once more so that you can clearly see what I've done. And as I said, this is so much more simple than the last row that we've just dealt with. And this really is just tidying up all those yarn overs. So we're going to purl 2. We're going to knit through the back of the loop. So we're not going to knit here, we're knitting through the back. And then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and we come back to our next yarn over, which is literally just yarn over the needle. And so for us to turn that into a working stitch, we're going to knit through the back of the loop. And then we're going to purl 2. And then we're going to finish the row with a knit 4. And then that will be all of the complex things demonstrated for you for the minaret stitch. So really it's just a lot of setting up work where you build this stack of stitches ready to pull them in to the center. And so as you can see, we've started setting up for the next stack of stitches to grow from this point on. And I think that's quite a sweet little stitch. And if you can manage to master row 7, then it will be a nice easy one for you to learn from today. I'm going to do just a cast off now because I've done my 3 repeats, and that gives me my square. So hopefully you will have all the information that you need in the newsletter. If you have any questions, please let me know. That way I can answer them in tomorrow's live stream. And please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if this is of use, if this is actually answering your cabling questions. And hopefully I will see you for day 3. If not, I will definitely see you tomorrow with a live stream. So bye for now.